Belshire Vestige.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Belshire Vestige, the blue Protoss player trailing 0-1, Invictus Gaming's Jim. And his opponent up the top left-hand corner, the red Zerg, leading 1-0, EG's Jaedong.
Same opening over here by Jim as in the previous map. And man, I must say that was a really bizarre first game. First Jaedong with the offensive hatchery, then the no cancel. Then eventually Jim being under so much pressure, but still thinking
What?
Jaedong! Do it again.
When did this become a thing? When did this become a thing that Zergs just always do?
S-Cats?
I guess I need to. So hatchery goes up right in the face of that forge. And it will slow Jim down a little bit. Let's see if Jaedong remembers to cancel it this time. Jim going to follow his up, or he's going to respond in the same way as well, dropping a pylon in the natural.
Like thinking about the previous map, I think where it really kind of went wrong, at least in the opening phase for Jim, is that he decided to try to cannon rush the third base as well, try to get those two cannons up, and that delayed his gateway so much, and that delayed everything else. And it also made him basically, or forced perhaps to go up to 3 bases, because the 2 base timing would just be way, way too late. Like, Protoss is going to lose a lot of mining time right now, but if we take a look at the main base, we see 12 probes left. We take a look at the main base of Jaedong, we see 11, as Jaedong is pulling drones now as well. I guess it's just a standoff, man.
What would happen? Okay, so Jaedong pulls the drones and that cancels the cannon, but if that cannon goes up, what happens if Jim just builds his gateways there and just like starts throwing in zealots or something?
Well, then if this... Yeah, I guess that would be quite okay. Then you get a 1-base Zerg for a little while.
Yeah. Kind of Hearthstone style. You want to go back to the old days. Jaedong cancels this time. He will lose the drone. Oh! That's so frustrating.
Yep.
This is something that you used to do a lot.
Yes.
That's why I hated you for the first 6 months of our relationship.
I still hate you, though. Couple of additions, 4 circlings out on the map right now for Jaedong with 6 even, so he's 4-link, so he's gonna have enough DPS to deny this.
That's so annoying, Jim, just constantly.
Yeah, but with 4
stalling,
links,
and eventually Jaedong does get the hatchery down. His probe's also gonna fall, so frustrating play. One more pylon. Hey, why not? Frustrating early game play here out of Jim. Jaedong, however, doing a good job of dealing with it and going on up to 3 bases. As you can see, one more drone moving towards this expansion. So it will be a 3-base Zerg against a 2-base Protoss here once again.
This time the gateway is a lot quicker for Jim, and also Jaedong is not up to 3 bases just yet. Third hatchery going down right now, so normally it goes down around the 4-minute mark. This time it's the 5-minute mark, but above all, the natural was delayed a little bit as well, which means less larva for the Zerg. I'd say this went a little bit better for Jim than it did on the previous map.
Yeah, I think so too. Didn't invest as much and still managed to delay Jaedong quite a bit, maybe even a little bit more than previously.
And above all, he has much quicker attack, and that's going to make it so much harder for Jaedong to prepare, because it doesn't really matter how much you stall a Zerg early game. If you're not going to be able to attack him for the next 3, 4, 5 minutes, they're just going to drone up. Sure, it's going to be a little later than normal, but your attacks are going to be much later as well, and that's not the case this time. So Jaedong has to be really, really alert of what is going on. We all know that Jim loves to do some 2-base pushes. We saw him do that several times already against Zerg players, and Belshire Vestige, pretty good map for it, man.
Sure is. The old Immortal are excellent here just because of how narrow a lot of the spaces are.
And also, like the build that Puck likes to do a lot, the Blink Stalkers with a couple of Immortals and all the sentries. And we saw Puck do that against Jaedong on this map as well. And it was very successful, but Jim is going to switch it up, and he's going to drop the Stargate.
That's interesting. So, Stargate opening for Jim. I have to wonder if it's going to be Phoenix's or an Oracle opening.
I think it's going to be Phoenix. Jim does love to play some Phoenix into Colossus, save into 3 bases as well every now and then, like kind of the old save Wings of Liberty style. I think that's a really hard style to pull off these days. But it's all about being aggressive on the right moments and not giving Zergs absolute freedom other than your couple of Phoenixes flying around. So I'm very curious to see what Jim is going to do besides sending some Phoenixes across the map, if he is indeed going for Phoenix.
Jaedong took a pretty quick double gas, and he hasn't thrown down any tech, and so there it is. There's that fast layer. So we might be seeing some... well, I guess Jaedong's intentions might be some fast Mutaplay. He's got no other tech down. That's certainly what it looks like right now. But upon realizing that this Stargate is out, I wouldn't be surprised to see Jaedong change gears a little bit. So his layer tech options then become your standard Roach Hydra And it's probably what we're going to end up seeing, as we do see Roach Hornet Evo Chamber going down.
Yeah, every now and then he likes to open up with speed. Sometimes he goes straight into Roach Hydra, but most of the time he at least gets Zergling speed first. He's going to sacrifice an Overlord. He's going to see that this Phoenix is chipping away at it. Robo going down already as well. Of course, there are builds like this as well, which is still 2-base builds. That's completely possible. Like SOS used to do it for a while, where you get a couple of Phoenixes out, then drop the Robo immediately, and get 2 Immortals, 2 Colossus, and march across the map. I really like that build. I think it's a really strong build. But timing is everything, and since the timing was a little bit off early game because of the crazy scenarios that we had, I don't think that going for a build like that is necessarily the best idea. And also 5 gateways going down right now.
Hello, 5 extra gates from Jim. So
no, I almost did he cancel the Robo?
I think so. I think he just put it down so Jaedong could see it.
So this is kind of something that Maxhead did as well against Scarlet. It did not go all that well for Maxhead. +1 is being researched. It's just going to be Phoenixes with a lot of gateway units. But the Hydralisk then is already down, and if Jaedong is able to get a reasonable amount of Hydras out in time, it's going to be very hard to pull this off with Jim.
Jaedong's also building a lot of Spore Crawlers, so he doesn't want to take any chances of letting these Phoenixes do big damage. The other side, though, Kev, is that he's making lots of drones. Lots and lots of drones.
Yeah,
he's getting all his tech out.
He's still going to have plenty of time to actually make units. Okay, units are going to march across the map right now. He really does have to stop right now, though. I do totally agree with you. 7 more drones. Jaedong up to 71 workers against 48.
I think this might be too much. We're going to see how the timing works out. He does have a lot of
Spire
larva.
going down.
Come on, Jaedong. You got to build some units, man. As Jim is on the move.
This is 33% of Jaedong's army.
The rest of it is, of course, on the production tab. That's 4 Hydras. So here comes Jim dropping that pylon. Now, if Jaedong gets one big production cycle, he might be able to hold.
This is a massive pylon, though. This is a really good pylon. It's going to be in between. And Phoenixes are really good against Hydras as long as the Hydras are in small numbers. And he should be able to pick them off one by one. A couple of Hydras are in production over here. Not too many, though. Force Field's going down immediately. Man, I think Jim might actually be able to do this. He's still ahead in army supply.
I think he's definitely going to kill the 3rd base. Jaedong is producing Roaches and Hydras. Spire is down. But how in the world is he going to kill this Protoss army? It's
don't use too much of your energy on those drones, Jim. You want to save that energy because Phoenixes can be really good against Hydralisk.
Oh, this hatch actually not even going to be focused. Jim's just going to turn around and head towards the natural. I think that's a very smart move, as he's going to run into the army of Jaedong, and will we see a big fight?
Spore Crawler's buying a little bit of time for Jaedong there as well. I think a couple of additional settlers would be really good. I don't think that Jim should give Jaedong that much time. Of course, picking this hatchery off 100% sure is a good thing. Oh, Jaedong is going to have to fall back. I don't really see how Jaedong can get a good fight for himself.
It's going to be really hard. He's got to get the perfect engagement, and I think Jim's going to have to make a mistake, frankly. Phoenixes are going to come forward and start lifting these Hydras. Here come the Zealots, the Stalkers, and the Sentries. A couple of Roaches from behind. I don't think that's going to be enough, though, man. Look how quickly this Protoss army gets through these Zerg units. The Hydras are all dead. It's just drones and Roaches left.
So far, though, Spore Crawler is still alive, and the Phoenix count is dwindling. Reinforcements streaming in right now for Jaedong with 8 additional Roaches. It's going to be really tough. More and more Stalkers being wiped in right now. All the drones are falling as well. For a second there, I thought that Jaedong might be able to stabilize, but...
I mean, he does have one more round of units about to pop out, and maybe if he pulls drones one more time, but
he has barely any drones left to pull.
At this point, he's taken way too much damage. Jim has dealt a mortal blow to Jaedong as he marches into the natural.